do you ever get starstruck? I mean, you've been in LA for a while. You're having Melissa Rivers. I mean, and Kathy Hilton at your house. I mean, then there's like the grand stars like Madonna and Cher, and we could go on, right? Like the guy, like, are you the type that gets starstruck? And like, do you ever have a moment like, this is my life? Like I have Candy Spelling, like sitting at the next table and this is my party.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, but I'm also aware, listen, it's not like I'm a single guy and this all happened because it's just me. I'm so great. So I'm aware that, Josh is very well connected. I get more starstruck when I create my own friendships with them and there's an interest in me. And I'm like, oh, well, this little boy from Pacifica has friends. I'm not going to name drop them now, but like these certain people. So I get starstruck when it's somebody that reminds me of like my childhood, like that I would watch growing up, like with like my mom or something of that nature. Like even Tori Spelling, who we're friends with, my mom was obsessed with her on 90210. So just those things, like, God, I wish my mom was still around because she would die for that. Or, well, that was a funny, ironic thing I just said. But like, obviously we met, not obviously, I got starstruck when we met Mariah Carey at the Polo Lounge. I was like, like just embarrassed myself. I didn't run up to her, Josh did, but when I started talking to her, I started crying. I'm like, why am I crying? But it was just everything that she had meant to me all kind of came together in that one moment. And I was very much starstruck.
I cried when I met Cher. I've met Cher 4 times, and on the 3rd time I broke down crying. And she's like, you've met me twice. Why now? And I'm like, I don't know, but I can't handle this.
So I hear she's really sweet when you meet her.
Like, see how I'm tearing up now? It's like Cher is Cher. Like, I mean, I know it's like, it's just what you would expect from Cher. She's so Cher. I don't know how else to say it.
Just
and
iconic.
She's iconic, like she doesn't really want you to cry. Like you don't really have, but she understands it and just, you get over it. Like, I mean, it's such hey, listen, if someone were crying in front of me, I'd be like, I don't know what to do either. So I get it, but she's like, yes.
Because even though they know they're so successful or so visible and famous and, all of that, they still feel like themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing.
Trouble. Sorry.
First of all, we love trouble. Well, no, like, dog. It's like what you said, like when you have like your own relationship with them. And like, I speak to a lot of people on here. It is true. Like, stars, they're just like us. It is true. Like everyone's a human being, and like you really connect with the people you authentically connect with. Like I believe that. I do believe though, like with Cher, like there's just certain people that have that something where you're just like, you understand why they're a superstar. You're like, you just have that extra it factor.
They have that thing. Like they always say, like you can be talented, you can be connected, but longevity is like, you just have something that you can't explain. They just have it. And it's what you gravitate towards. And for you, that's Cher. For me, it's Mariah.
Does Josh know Mariah? Is that why he went up to her at the Polo Lounge? Or he just decided, I'm Josh Flagg, and if I want to say hi to Mariah, I'll go say hi to her?
Basically, I mean, it was when we first, he doesn't know her. When we started dating, that's when we were like kind of having our deep conversations all the time. And so I kind of told him like why she meant a lot to me. I was like, I'm not just, like, cause he'd be like, are you just like every other gay that just loves like their queen? I was like, well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with that, right? We all need somebody to like kind of look up to. I'm like, no, she writes her own music, and there was a song that she had written that kind of like redirected my life. And I've just been, kind of like a fanatic since then. And so we were sitting at the Polo Lounge with Hillary at the time, who works with him. And I'm facing the door, and then I see a big bodyguard walk in, then I just like this stunning supermodel like just walks in. I hit Josh super hard. It was like a reflex. I go, it's Mariah Carey. And he's like, what? Ow, what? He's like, what the fuck? And I was like, it's Mariah Carey. He goes, no, it's not. I go, it's Mariah Carey. So he looks, he's like, oh my God, it's Mariah Carey. So she sits behind us in her booth, and she was like, she was with somebody. She had security at the other table, and then her manager at the time. He's like, you're gonna go say hi to her? I go, are you crazy? You don't just walk up to Mariah Carey and ruin her lunch or whatever. He's like, I'm gonna do it. So he did it. He walked up to her. Hi, I'm Josh Flagg. He said, hi, I'm Josh Flagg. I used to live in the hotel. And she was like, me too. And they started talking. He's like, listen, my fiance's a big fan. You've changed his life. And she was like, bring him on over. So I was petrified to walk over, but I did. I walked over and I said, I'm sorry to interrupt and blah, blah, blah. And then I told her, what she meant to me. And I started crying, and she shed a little tear. And it was like it was a good moment. Brownie points for Josh.
I was going to say, like, if you weren't in love at that point, that's what you're like, let's go have the wedding, sweetie.
Yeah, I was like, wow, because we weren't even. Oh, actually, I wasn't his fiance then. No, we were just engaged. We were just boyfriends.